For this week's baking, I'm thinking of doing a curry bun, vegetable curry buns. For this, first I'm going to finish the curry, and for that I'm using some carrots, potatoes, curry leaves, pandan leaves and cinnamon, half of a cabbage with several chilies. Chilies are always optional if you don't like to add any. And one leek finely sliced, one onion, several cloves of garlic, and 2 stock cubes, or you can use stock water instead, and a teaspoon curry powder with half a teaspoon turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of pepper. Enough salt always to your taste. When you add stock, make sure that you have to taste before adding salt, and a cup of coconut milk. So let's start doing this first. Into a pot, add some oil, and into that add the curry leaves and cinnamon, and into that add the onion and the garlic. Start frying it about 1 minute. Next, add the vegetables and cook it about 2 minutes. Next, add the curry powder, stock and the pepper, and mix it really well, and cook another 2 minutes with the liquid that coming out from the vegetables. Now going to add the leeks and cook again another 2-3 minutes before adding the coconut milk. After add the coconut milk, cover it with the lid and cook it on a low heat until it absorbs all the coconut milk and there is no liquid at all. So let's do the Tangzhong. For that I'm using a pot on the scale and get it to 0 and weigh 100 grams bread flour. And into that add 150 milliliters cold water. And now mix it well and cook it on the stove until it thickens. Let's do the dough for curry buns. For that I am using 500 grams bread flour with a teaspoon sugar and 5 grams salt. Then 10 grams instant dry yeast, 40 grams butter, 150 milliliters water, and the roux I made before. So this is how it looks like. So it has to come to a thickness like this. Today, without using the normal mixer, I'm going to use the bread machine, because several asked me how to use the bread machine for making the dough. So I'm going to use the bread machine and show you, and it's good for me too because the weather outside is very cold and it takes a longer time to process if not. So let's do this. So into the bucket of the bread machine, put the flour, and into that salt and the sugar and the yeast. Then add the Tangzhong mix and add the butter and start mixing this about 2 minutes. Once it start mixing all together, add the water little by little, opening the machine several times, and make the dough and leave it in the machine until it's through, and then take it out. I'll show you after. So the dough is ready, and put some flour onto the bench and put the dough onto the bench. So I left this to prove in the bread bucket like that. So put more flour. This is a bit sticky dough, so add more flour and knead it about 1 to 2 minutes. After, cut the dough into equal size pieces. So I'm going to cut this again to equal size pieces. So take one bowl out, put more flour, it's very sticky, so make balls out from that and leave it on the bench again about 10 minutes. So after, I have this curry that I made before, And take a rolling pin and put some flour onto the rolling pin and flour your fingers and take one piece out, put it down and slowly roll it through a circle. So when you do this, make sure that you keep the middle a bit thicker than the ends. Always make the ends thinner and leave the bit thicker in the middle. So you will understand why I say this. So put a spoonful of the mix in the middle. Take the dough and press it in like this. Now put it down so the thick part comes to the top. When it grows again, what will happen? It will split. So if you put that middle part to a bit thicker consistency, it will look nicer. So after, put this on a baking sheet to double in size. So leave it in a warm place again. So the bread rolls are ready. Going to brush with eggs and bake this on 200 about 10 to 15 minutes or until golden brown on top. You can sprinkle some sesame or poppy seeds on top. So the curry buns are ready and I baked this about 30 minutes and this is how it looks like. I did one batch with sesame and did one batch without anything. So if I open one to show you, this is a really soft and a moist bread. So curry buns. To get the recipe, visit culinarycorner.net. Thank you for watching.